Hey y'all, my name is Tonette, and this is the beginning of BJ and I answering the question that many of our friends, family, and coworkers ask, where y'all been? In this episode, we'll cover our youth travel, motivation for traveling, and we'll share one travel tip. The information we share is from our experience and in our opinion. We hope you find it informative, encouraging, and sometimes entertaining. To get notified of future videos, simply subscribe to this channel. Florida is the Sunshine State, and I'd like to think that we both, BJ and I, brought sunshine into the lives of our parents one December. BJ's parents gave birth to him, their first son, and 21 days later, my parents gave birth to me, their first child. All of this took place in the same hospital in Northeast Florida. Then BJ was raised in Southeast Georgia, and I was raised in Northeast Florida. In my youth, I can remember traveling to Miami, Fort Myers, Orlando, Daytona, and Ocala, Florida, and even Atlanta, Georgia. In his youth, BJ's family traveled to Tampa and Orlando, Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, Upper Marlboro, Maryland, with a stop at south of the border, Charleston, and Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Then, as a young adult, he traveled with his family to Port Gibson, Mississippi. We dated between 1994 and 1999, and during that time we visited Orlando, St. Augustine, Tallahassee, Daytona Beach, Bradenton, and Panama City, Florida. We also visited Maryville, Tennessee, Biloxi, Mississippi, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and Moline, Illinois. So we enjoy just having fun, hanging out, and we enjoy going out to eat. So some of the places that we ate during this time ate regularly, I should say. Callahan's Chicken in Cedar River in Callahan, Florida, The Weenie Wagon in Brunswick, Georgia, Jenkins Barbecue and Lee's Dragon in Jacksonville, Florida, Down Under and Crab Trap in Fernandina Beach, Florida, and the Rose Garden in Kingsland, Georgia, and Lee's Chicken in Jacksonville, Florida, but those no longer exist. The thing we liked to do the most was go to the beach. We loved it then, and we love it now. While we went to a variety of beaches that I've already mentioned, the main beach that we went to was in Fernandina Beach or Amelia Island. We also enjoyed riding go-karts. We did that in Daytona Beach and Myrtle Beach. We like to go to water parks and arcades. We went to Summer Waves in Jacob Island, Georgia, Adventure Landing in Jacksonville, Florida, Shipwreck Island in Panama City, Florida, Pleasure Island at Disney World in Orlando, Florida, and Wild Waters in Ocala, Florida, but Pleasure Island and Wild Waters no longer exists, or at least not in the normal form. So why do we travel? I think I fell in love with the idea of traveling when my Aunt Annette and her family came to visit us whenever she was in town. She was part of a military family who lived in several different places, including overseas. I wondered what it would be like to see different places and really get to experience them for an extended period of time. I even considered becoming a military wife. Now we travel to see new places and taste food from different areas. I'm not afraid to admit that I am nosy. I love to verify if the restaurants we've seen on the food channels are really any good, and determine for myself if the sites that we've been exposed to through books or television are really all that amazing. We've also been known to take a weekend and go taste some different things in a new area. One of the reasons for our travel is that we get to spend quality time with family, and we celebrate multiple things at once. For example, at the end of the year, we celebrate 3 out of 5 of our birthdays from our household. We celebrate our wedding anniversary, and Christmas. We also get 3 to 4 holidays off from work. Therefore, it's a great time to travel. One of the final reasons that we are motivated to travel and enjoy doing so is simply because we can. Now, believe me when I say that is not meant to be an arrogant response at all. What I mean is there was a time when our people, Black people, African American people, were restricted in where we could go, stay, and eat. Therefore, we had to be really cautious about traveling, and the accommodations weren't always ideal. I'm not here to teach that lesson though. To learn more, check out The Green Book by Victor H. Green or watch the movie. In this episode, we would like to share how we traveled with hopes of encouraging you. In most of our travels, there was usually 5 of us traveling together, so it could get expensive to book a flight to every place that we wanted to go and then rent a car to get around town. Therefore, we drove our own vehicles for the majority of our trips, and we rented vehicles for a few of them. So don't feel like you cannot travel because you don't want to fly or you don't have any money for flights. We've also traveled by train, bus, and ship. So here's the tip. We try to have multiple drivers so that one driver can rest when not driving. Having multiple drivers widens our travel window and allows us to drive when the roads are less busy. For example, driving overnight often saves us the cost of a hotel room. Now, if both drivers need to rest, we usually pull over to a rest area. But since one person is usually sleeping while the other one is driving, this is rare. In addition to having less traffic on the roads, guess what? Driving overnight with kids allowed us to have less noise inside the car because the kids were sleeping while we were driving. Well, this is the end of the beginning of our travels, and we have so much more to share. If you enjoyed it, like it, and share it. To learn more about our family travels, consider subscribing to our channel.